Hey slackers, welcome back. This is video lesson 20 in college statistics. Holy cannolis, we made it to the 20s. I think of 20 now, and I think of like how we're the year 2020, and everybody thought like, oh, 2020, it's gonna be so great, it's gonna be so cool, it's the 20s, and then like it went to crap, right? Really quick. 2020 went to crap real quick. So this is college stats, so I try to squeeze it in there whenever we can. If you've been watching the statistics put out, particularly by our more local government, our New York State government, Governor Cuomo, our numbers are way down. Actually, they're lower than when we started collecting data. So that is amazing, and that's due in large part to people doing the right thing. This weekend, my husband and I and friends and family watched news reports and social media of people not doing the right thing. So I'm going to hold my breath as I am officially 18 days away from baby time. That is 2 weeks and 4 days away from the new baby. Olivia is so excited. Just so you know, it's officially Memorial Day here at the Sakara Crib, so happy Memorial Day. We've had a rough night, just an aside. We put the girls in the same bedroom for the first time ever, and it went good till about 5 a.m. supposedly. We have Olivia, who is hot and always wants the fan on all year round. And then we have Ophelia, who's cold, and she sleeps with like a little plug-in heater in her room. She likes to be like a little sauna. So I told Olivia no fan last night, so apparently Olivia said she was up already because she was hot. Ophelia woke up, and so basically how I was woken up at 5:20 in the morning or 5:23 or whatever it was both of them staring at me next to my bed. I'm like, oh my God, I know the 2-year-old was in a crib. How the hell did she get out? So her 7-year-old sister brought over the stool and taught her how to climb out of the crib and helped her out because she said, Mommy, I just couldn't stand to see her cry. So we had a long talk this morning about you can't help your sister climb out of bed. So pray for me. But anyway, so we've had kind of a down day, which is okay because it was cloudy and gross out up until about 10 minutes ago. So that's where we're at. So if you look at statistics as far as coronavirus, COVID-19, everything is down. But like I said, we're opening back up. The governor opened up beaches this weekend with certain protocols put in place. They told people they could get together this weekend with certain protocols put in place. Whether or not people abide by that is their call. And he also said, I think Wednesday, Long Island's due to open back up. So just be careful. Keep doing the right thing. I know there's a lot of bologna and cheese out there about wearing a mask, not wearing a mask. I come from a family of healthcare workers, a long line of nurses, and my aunt's boyfriend of like over 20 years is on the board of Mather Hospital. He's a pathologist, which studies diseases and stuff and infections. So I'm pretty well versed on this stuff as far as where I get my information from, and the mask does help. Think about it this way. Doctors wear masks in the emergency room. Doctors wear masks in the OR when they operate on people. On the operating room, doctors wear masks in the ICU when people are in critical condition. Why? Because they want to prevent the spread of germs, bacteria, and viruses. So just in case they have a cold or they have anything, the mask prevents them from spreading anything to a patient that's already in a precarious situation. So remember, you wear the mask to prevent from getting other people sick. It doesn't prevent you from getting sick, it prevents others. And there's a lot of things out there about carbon dioxide poisoning, all that crap. If you're wearing a regular cloth mask or a surgical mask, you're fine. If you wear an N95 for 10, 12 hours at a time, you will get a headache. You won't die, though, trust me. My aunt wears them because she works with COVID patients, and she doesn't get a headache, but she says people do. And the people who do are usually the people who are smokers. They do vapes. They have asthma. People who have already other issues going on with breathing have trouble with the N95s a little bit. So just, and don't wear them in a car. I feel like that's so dumb to even have to tell people that, but whatever. And I hope you're all laughing at this. So anyway, just be leery. Be safe. Statistically speaking, the short amount of time we were on stay-at-home orders and practicing social distancing and wearing a mask is not going to lower your immune system. Your immune system has already been built. It's not something that goes in reverse. The only way you could reverse that process is by being in quarantine for like a long period of time, like year plus. And we're not in that situation. So if everybody does the right thing, we'll be okay. There were news reports of a bar over in Patchogue here that opened up like it was a regular Memorial Day weekend. There was pictures and videos, and it was horrendous. Like, I saw it. They called the police 3 different times. The police did not write them tickets. I can't believe it, but they didn't. Yeah, so it's scary. It takes up to 10 to 14 days to see the spread, to see the symptoms. So we'll see, in the next 2 weeks, what the numbers do, guys. It's all math. It's all statistics. All right, so anyway, I know you guys are probably so sick of hearing about it. Let's talk about what we're going to do here in our statistics class. So we are finishing up probability. Alleluia. I am planning on giving 1 video and 1 assignment this week. I didn't say it because I didn't feel that it was necessary to say it, but today's national holiday. It's Memorial Day. You had a 3-day weekend, so I didn't post on Mondays like I normally do. I'm going to post a video tomorrow. You have till Thursday to watch it, and you have an assignment due Friday. So just 1 this week. It's a shortened week, shortened work. Then we have 2 full weeks of instruction after that by the district. Mr. Scotto and the superintendent decided that as of June 16th, no more instruction. So that brings me right to June 15th, which is a Monday. That's my C-section. So I'm doing 2 full weeks of instruction and cutting it off by the 12th. So I need you to get everything into me because I've explained to you I'm taking 1 for the team, especially for the seniors and your grades and graduation and college grades and all that crap. I want to make sure it goes in right. So I'm going to continue to work through my C-section. Yay! So I need you guys to be kind and think of Mr. Caro and get everything in the next 2.5 weeks, okay? You got 18 days to get busy if you've been slacking, okay? So where are we at? We're going to finish up permutations and combinations today. We'll finish up the 3rd notes packet on probability. So I'm going to go over the homework. That was video lesson 19. We will finish the notes packet on permutations and combinations. And then I will assign you homework that'll be due Friday. And then next week I'm thinking review quiz. And then from there, the last week, I might do something out of the box different for the last week. Okay? So we're going to kind of take it easy. So the next week and a half is new stuff, and then we move on. Okay? All right, so let's take a look. Permutations and combinations. Where did I put the new? Oh, there it is, underneath. So your homework for video lesson 19 was 158 in the notes packet. 158. So let's take a look. Let's start with that because we started a little weird with counting principle. Okay, so the fundamental counting rule. We have number 1 is zip codes. How many 5-digit zip codes are possible if digits can be repeated? And then I asked for when it cannot be repeated. So that's why I only assigned you 3 problems because a lot of them had 2 parts or multiple questions to it. Okay, so we're going to go over in the text. 233 to 235, right? Okay, so number 1, part A. We have repeats. So you can have repeats in the 5-digit zip code. I'm a visual person, so I literally think, okay, here's my 5 digits. Okay. Now, each digit is a single-digit number. That spot only allows for a single-digit number. So think about your single-digit numbers. The smallest one is 0, and the biggest one is 9. I can't say 10 because 10 would take up 2 digits. So how many numbers are 0 to 9? And be careful when you answer this question very quickly. That's right. There's 10 numbers from 0 to 9. 10 of them. Okay? You have to be careful with that question because you count 0. So I will do it for you really quick because I know it's hard for you guys to think of it out, last minute. But you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 total possible numbers. Okay? From 0 to 9. And means you multiply. I can repeat it. So if I use it, it goes back into the batch. Like my zip code could be 11111. Weird, but it could be. Okay, so I still have 10 possibilities. And means you multiply. I can repeat it. So I still have 10 possibilities. And I can repeat it. And I can repeat it. So what's 10 to the 5th power? Or 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times, I lost count. Okay, so we have 10 to the 5th is 100,000. Now, do you have to write 10 to the 5th? No, you just have to give me the answer. You have to show me this and give me the answer. All right, let's think of part B, so to say, where it says no repeats. So now, if I use a number, I lose a number. There's my 5-digit zip code. I can still pick from 0 to 9, but I can't repeat it. So I start out with 10 numbers. End means I multiply. If I use the number 1, I lose the number 1. So now instead of 10 numbers, I lost 1. I have 9 to pick from. And now I've used 2 different numbers. So I lost 2 of them from the 10. What's 10 minus 2? 8 of them. And I lose another one. 7 of them. And I lose a 5th number. 6 left to choose from. So if I put that in the calculator, whoops, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, I get 30,240. There it is. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. All right, so that was number 1 on the homework. I believe the next one I asked you to do was number 5. All right, so if we read number 5, we have shampoo display. A store manager wishes to display 8 different brands of shampoo in a row. 8 of them in a row. How many ways can this be done? Now remember, I have 8 different brands of shampoo, and I have a shelf I want to arrange them on. How am I going to arrange them? Now this is actually kind of important and sounds stupid, but if you've ever stocked shelves before, there's a very particular way you're supposed to stock. First of all, you have to think average height of a person and where their eye level would be. So if I go to CVS, what would you find at the average height of a person's eye level? You got that right, the CVS brand. Why? Because they want you to buy their store brand. And then right after that, or right under it, or right above it, is the name brand. Okay, the name brand stuff. And then at the bottom of the shelf, like near the floor, is the cheapest stuff. Okay, so there's a method behind their madness, but basically I have 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, end means I multiply all of them. All right, I start out with how many shampoos? 8 of them. Once I put that first bottle out, that CVS brand, then I put out one of the name brands. I only have 7 left to choose from. Then I put out the second biggest name brand, so I have 6 left to choose from. Every time I put one out, every time I use one, I lose one. Okay? Now this is something we're going to talk about in about a hot minute here. But 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is actually what we call 8 factorial. It's very excited, so we give it an exclamation point. 8 factorials, 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay? Now you could put it in the calculator this way. And you get 40,320. Or you can do the factorial button if you downloaded the calculator. So 8, math, you go over to PRB. Again, 8, you hit the 8 first, hit the math button and go over to PRB for probability, and you see it, it's number 4. It's very excited. So 8 factorial is 40,320. Now, why didn't I discuss that with 1B? Because this is not 10 factorial. 10 factorial is 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. You got to start with the number before the exclamation point and count all the way down to 1, multiplying all those mofos. So 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 12 factorial is 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Is it annoying yet? It's annoying for me. Okay, so factorial, you have to count down to 1 and multiply. You do not count down to 0. Why do you not count down to 0? Because what's anything times 0? 0. Then it's pointless. This is not factorial because I stopped at 6. I didn't go down to 1. Okay, so that's the difference. All right, let's keep going. Let's try number 8. And you didn't have to know factorial to answer the question. You just had to fill in this part and actually put it in a calculator. Okay? All right, so number 8, radio station call letters. The call letters of a radio station must have 4 letters. The first letter must be a K or a W. How many different station call letters can be made if repetitions are not allowed? So first it's no repeats, and then it is repeats. So let's be careful. This is an A and B question. So this says no repeats, right? First, repetitions are not allowed, no repeats. All right, so there's 4 call letters. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it says the first letter must be a K or a W in the first slot. So if it has to be a K or a W, how many possibilities are there? K and W makes 2 of them. And means I'm going to multiply all these. Now, how many letters are left in the alphabet? How many letters are in the alphabet? That's right, 26 letters. Can I repeat? Well, part A.
6 letters in the alphabet?
Yeah. 26 letters in the alphabet. My first grader. Wait. So for no repeats, if I use K or W, I'm using one of those letters. Like, let's say it's a K first. I used one of them. So instead of 26 total letters, now I used one. I lose one. There's 25. Then I use another one. I lose one. It's 24. And then I use one. I lose one. So again, K or W is 2 possibilities. But then once I use one, I lose it. So you would have 26 letters, but I used K or W. I used one of them. So I count down 25, 24, 23. So let's put that in the calculator. And that looks like 27,600. Now, if I do repeats, repeats are allowed now. Again, we still start with a K or a W. That's 2 possibilities. But now I can repeat. So I could have K, 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 K. K. I can have woo, W. W, 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 woo. I know I have a problem. Okay, so they can repeat, which means it's 26 each time. You still have 26 letters to choose from. So we have 2 times 26 3 times, which is 35,152, I believe. Okay, 35,152. All right, let's try one more before we move on. Or you know what? No. I'm going to skip it. Let's go on because we are already at 17 minutes. Let's finish up this notes packet so we can all be chilling like a villain on penicillin. Oh. Yes, I was born like this. You guys should be totally used to that by now, though. All right, let's see. I lost a paper clip. Alrighty then. We got this. We got that. We got this. Okay, so let's take a look at our notes packet. Your homework in the same textbook handout is going to be 9, 17, 21, 23, 24, 30, 50, and 51. I know they seem like a lot, but they're quick. If I give you a lot, they're quick. 9 is like the counting principle, the fundamental counting rule that we just did. 17, 21, 23, 24, 30, 50, and 51 are permutations and combinations because you got to get used to the difference between the two. And that is an airplane flying over my house. All right, so this is as far as we got in video lesson 19 because I did all the homework problems, right? Yes, y'all. So let's do it. Factorial notation. We just spoke about it. Let's actually write the definition. So it's denoted by an exclamation point. Okay, that means you have an exclamation point.
Hi, baby. I just got my prize.
Here, come here. You're supposed to get what?
I'm supposed to get my prize.
You're supposed to get a prize? What are you talking about, girlfriend?
My computer's lost.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting attacked by a 2-year-old. Hold on, everybody. Oh, God, you're so big. Okay. All right. Sit down like a good girl. Want color? Want color while mommy teaches? I don't know what happened to my husband. He bailed on me. He does this all the time. He says he's going to help me and then he disappears. Okay, so, want color? Want to pick a pen?
Oh, I'm gonna cook some cookies.
Okay, hold on. Which one?
This one.
Use your, what color is that? Take this out.
This is this.
You want red? This one's broken. Do you want red? Pink or green? Sorry guys, hold on. Hashtag momming while I'm teaching. It's the COVID-19 way to teach from home. Which one? Pink, green, red? That's black. You want red? Here. Stay on the paper, please. All right, let's see how long it takes till my husband realizes he's supposed to be doing this. All right, sorry guys. So factorial notation is denoted by an exclamation point. So if you see a number and after it it's very excited with an exclamation point, you know it's factorial. So if I say 5 factorial, you count down to 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you multiply them all. And that gives you 120, I believe. Okay? So to compute, to solve it, you start with the given. Sorry, guys. Numerical value. Start with the given numerical value and count down
Here's Mommy.
to 1. Cheers, boo-boo. And multiply all of the values.
Exercise, and we got it. Wait, go for
Okay? So if I give you another one. 7 factorial. Count down to 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And multiply them all. Now remember, you can enter that into the calculator. 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Or you can do 7, not on the book. Can't draw on the book. The book is for reading. We draw on the paper. So you go 7, math, PRB, and hit number 4, and you get 55,040.
We have some surprise.
Okay, so that's factorial. Let's try, you can play with this if you want. Permutations. 2p or not 2p? That is the question. And when you gotta go, go. So a permutation is an arrangement. It's an arrangement of n objects in a specific order. An arrangement of objects in a specific order. You're scared. You hear Olivia Monster? I won't let her get you. Okay, Smushy? Mommy will protect you. I won't let her bother you, okay?
And say, "Wah!"
She goes, rah. You're so cute. All right, so the key thing is here, order. Order is important with permutations. How do you remember that? Think of your alphabet. What letter comes directly before P? M, N, O, P. Like Ophelia. Spell your name, Ophelia. O, P. Right. E.
L-I-S.
No. O-P-H-E-L. I. Hey! You forgot the last letter, you silly Billy. You forgot the last letter. It's A. All right, so the letter that comes directly before P is O for order.
Mama.
Yeah, baby.
You name.
So if they say the word arrangements in the problem or assignments.
Mama.
Yes, baby girl.
What you name?
Or you're running a race and placing first, second, and third.
That's it.
Making committees. This is another big one.
Come here. Come here, sweetie. Come here.
Do you hear this? I can't with her. Making committees of president, vice president,
Come here, yeah.
secretary, etc.
Oh, that's over.
All right, let's talk about why each of these order is important, okay? So arrangements, if I'm arranging furniture in my house, if I'm rearranging furniture in my house like we did yesterday, I'm putting it in a specific order. If I assign seats, assignments, if I give you assigned seats in a classroom, I'm putting you in a particular order.
Shoes to go outside play?
Wow.
Let's go.
You have to wipe your face. Socks for each of them are on that one hamper in our bedroom. They're the ones that are already paired.
Oh, she had socks with those Crocs?
She doesn't, but I think she'd be more comfortable with them on.
Your name was white. Yeah.
And Olivia's clothes, she already picked out for herself on her dresser. She needs
Okay.
to brush her hair and brush her teeth. Get her going first. Okay, so you have running a race, placing first, second, third. Obviously, order is important because you can't place second until somebody places first before you. So order is important. If you make a committee and you have the pres, the vice pres, the secretary, you can't pick your vice president until you pick your president. Order is important. Go in the room. Look at the hampers in front of the of clean clothes in front of the armoire, and there's socks. Pick out a already paired up, balled together, small pair for Ophelia and a bigger pair for Olivia. Okay, so that's permutations. To pee or not to pee, that is the question. When you gotta go, you go. You pee when there's order. Okay, so let's look at some examples of where order is important. Look at example 4. Read it to yourself.
Fine. Here.
Okay, so suppose a business owner has a choice of 5 locations, okay, in which to establish her business. She decides to rank each location according to certain criteria. Price of the store, parking lots, things like that. How many different ways can she rank? You're ranking it. Most expensive price stores to least expensive price stores. Best parking to the worst parking. If you're ranking things, it implies order. So it's 5, and then we write P because it's 5 total, and we're P'ing all 5 of the locations. You want to get
I
out?
can see Kitty.
All right, wait, Smushy. Wait, give me a kiss first. Give me a kiss, Smushy. Okay, now you can go. Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right, go tell Daddy to give you socks and change your diaper. Say, Daddy, I need to change my diaper. She's going to leave that part out because the kid runs when you go to change your diaper. So if you're doing permutations, the P goes in the middle. You always do the bigger number first. This is your total. And then how many of those that you're actually peeing. Okay? In this case, she wants to rank all 5 of them. So this is how we enter it into the calculator. 5, math, PRB, and there it is. You see NPR? That's number 2. And I put a 5. See, 5P5. I would change your diaper, Jim. Find socks?
Yes.
So it's 120
Olivia
total.
wants to play with Legos, so she's probably going to stay inside.
So 5P5 is 120. Okay? Why is it order? Because she's ranking things in order. All right, let's try another one. Read number 5 to yourself. Suppose the business owner in example 4 wishes to rank only the top 3. They want to rank only 3 of the 5 locations. They're still ranking them though. If they're ranking them from the most expensive store to the least expensive store, they're implying order. So we're still peeing. To pee or not to pee, that is the question. When you gotta go, you gotta go. My husband just made the weirdest face at me. So now I feel like I'm officially teaching. Somebody just responded to me, guys. That's the first time that's happened to me in like, I don't know. How many days has it been? 80 something days or whatever? All right, so anyway, the bigger number always goes first, the total. I have 5 total locations and I'm peeing how many of them? 3 of them. Why are we peeing? Because it's order. So 5P3. So 5, math, PRB. It's number 2 for NPR, and you hit 3, and you get 60. So for those of you who cannot download the calculator, because you don't have a device to download it to, AKA when I sent out the directions, the free calculator from Texas Instruments was for a computer, iPad, things like that. If you don't have that and you're just using your phone, I will accept you just writing 5P3 or 5P5. That's fine. Okay, given the circumstances, that is absolutely fine. All right, television news stories. A television news director wishes to use 3 news stories on an evening show. One story is the lead story. That's the story they open up with, the most interesting to get everybody to tune in and watch and stay watching. One will be the second story, and the last story is the closing one. The closing story is usually the one that sucks. The reporter that covers the closing story gets paid less than your lead reporters, just so you guys know. If the director has a total of 8 stories to choose from,
Let's go. Get ready.
that's your total 8. How many possible ways can the program be set up? So is order important? What's the matter, Bubba? I'm gonna come out with you soon. If the first story is the lead, and the second has to be just the basic story, and the third one's the worst story, the closing. Is order important? Yes, it is. To pee or not to pee, that is the question. We're still peeing when you gotta go. All right, what's the total? 8. And I have a lead, a second, and a closing. So there's 8 total stories, but I'm peeing 3 of them. So in the calculator, I do 8, math, PRB, number 2, and I hit 3. And I get 336. And again, if you can't download the calculator, I will accept 8P3 as an answer. All right, school musical plays. A school musical director can select 2 musical plays to present next year. One's in the fall, one's in the spring. She has 9 to pick from. How many different possibilities are there? First of all, are we peeing? Yes, we are, because I have to pick the first one I'm going to show in the fall, and then the second one I'll pick later for the spring. So order is important. How many total? 9, and I'm peeing 2 of them. So 9, math, PRB. You select number 2 for NPR, and you hit 2, and you get a 72. Again, you could just write 9P2 if you don't have the calculator downloaded. All right, how'd I do with all these guys? Are we all good in the hood? All right, let's talk about combinations then. So moving on up. I got a couple more to do, and we're going to wrap it up here. This is the last page of your last probability notes packet. Woo! Down with the probability. All right, so combinations is a selection of distinct objects. A selection of distinct objects without regard to order is called combinations. Okay, so order is not important. That's all you need to know, is that order is not important. Okay, order is not important. So P is order. Everything else is combinations. All right, so let's just take a look. How many combinations, they're literally using the word, of 4 objects are there if you take 2 at a time? Bigger number always comes first. So 4, we're not doing, nothing here implies order, so we're seeing, and how many are we taking? 2 of them. So if you didn't already notice, I'll show you. You do 4 first. You go to math, go to PRB because it's probability, and if you take a look at number 3, you see NCR. So I hit number 3 and I'm taking 2 at a time. So 4C2 is 6. If you don't have a calculator, you can just leave it as 4C2. Book reviews. A newspaper editor has received 8 books to review. He decides that he can use 3 of them in the newspaper. How many different ways can the 3 reviews be selected? He's not saying how many different ways can he print them in the newspaper. If he talked about the order that he would print them in, you would use P. He's just saying, how many different ways can he pick 3 of them from how many total? 8. So we have 8, and we're choosing 3 of them. That's all you need to do. 8, choose 3. So 8, math, PRB, hit number 3, and I'm choosing 3 of them. And you should get 56. All right, this is where it gets a little tricky. Read example 10 to yourself, please.
I don't want to share a room with Rosie. Are you sure, Caillou?
In a club, there are 7 women and 5 men. A committee of 3 women and 2 men is to be chosen. So this is a little different because we have 7 total women, 7 total women, that's the total women, but I'm only picking 3 women. And then I have 5 total men, but I'm only picking 2 of them. How many possible ways are there? So that now we have 2 different combinations to set up. I have 7 total women. This is for my women over here. And I'm choosing 3 women. And means you multiply. Now the men in the committee, I have 5 men, and I'm choosing 2 of them. So you see that was different because I had women and men, and I only want a certain amount of women and a certain amount of men. So I had to choose the certain amount from the total women, and means you multiply the certain amount from the total men. So in the calculator, I'm going to do, in parentheses, 7, math, go over to PRB and hit number 3, and there's 3 of them, so 7C3, close the parentheses, times, open parentheses, 5, math, PRB, number 3, and I'm choosing 2 men, so 5C2. And you get 350. And again, if you don't have a calculator, you can just show me this work. So once again, the homework for video lesson 20, which is what we're wrapping up right now, is in this textbook handout we were working on with video lesson 19. I want you to do number 9, 17, 21, 23, 24, 30, 50, and 51 because these are pretty quick. Okay, guys? Enjoy your weekend. This is the only assignment for the week. It'll be due on Friday. Take care. Brush your goddamn hair. Bye, darlings.